Alright guys, today we're going to dive into some cartel, aren't we, Gdbeast?
We are. Actually, we are.
At 6 a.m., my phone blared, jolting me up. I knew the sound. It was an alarm bell for another fire, and my crew chief, Mari, who also happens
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear now.
to be my wife, sprang up to her feet and flung on her jacket. 15 acres burning, choppers waiting. Let's go, let's go. Within 12 minutes, we were soaring through the skies on our way towards a firestorm.
What did you say?
Holy cinematic.
Alright, let's watch.
I was horrified because this fire was unnatural. The forest was still wet, meaning the blaze was man-made. We landed at 7 a.m. and hopped out as quickly as we could, lugging our gear. It was myself, Mari, my best friend Diego, and the rookie, Tate.
Yo! Guys, I'm not going to leak his real name.
They just called him a root.
I'm not
They
gonna
just called him a
leak his
root.
name, but loads of people call him Diego for some reason, even though that's not his name. I don't know why. So, yeah.
Just call me Diego. Just call me Diego. Even though that's far from my name. But, so call me that. Wait. Guys. Before we start the video, we're not going to be that one YouTuber that speaks over literally everything. So,
Yeah, we're just working
yeah, you can.
out. So, yeah, we're now gonna.
You can stop.
We're now just.
You can stop now.
Watch it. We'll comment on only some little things. Alright.
The smoke engulfed our lungs before we could put on our gas masks. We were several feet away from the burning cinders when Mari read her iPad and barked out commands.
Sorry for pausing it. This will be the last time. But that is so wrong, the red flag warning. I'm very sorry, but yeah, that.
There can't be a red flag warning. Wait,
Bro,
there can't be a...
Look on the board, bro. It isn't even right either.
Exactly.
Alright, let's just watch
The
it.
Fahrenheit is too low.
I know, because Fahrenheit is like... A human is like 100 Fahrenheit. So that is definitely too low.
Exactly.
Alright, us watch.
Why is that a red
Because
warning?
we use Celsius here in England. Da-da-da-da. But yeah, let's...
We're from England, chat.
Oh, okay, I'm not one of those fed kids. Let's just watch. Okay, maybe I am, but...
Red flag at 6 a.m. tomorrow. 50-mile-an-hour east winds. 8% humidity. If this is still burning when those winds hit, 15 acres becomes 15,000 by lunch. We only have 23 hours to contain this. Start digging out a perimeter. Now! I started digging and thought of the houses that were 3 miles down the ridge. Houses, families with kids that are sleeping right now. It was up to us to protect them. We dug and dug, clearing out the brush. My back was on fire as sweat poured into my gas mask. Diego was 20 feet to my left running the chainsaw, cutting a break, sweat coming through his jacket in dark patches. Mari called distances. Tate wouldn't shut up. Then Diego's chainsaw screeched to a halt. He killed the engine and stared down at the ground in shock. I knelt down and scraped. I found a vent pipe, then another, then plastic tubing, the kind that doesn't belong in a forest, snaking under the moss. I followed it a foot down with my fingers, and my knuckles hit steel. I scraped harder and discovered a shipping container, buried, way the hell out here, miles away from any roads. Leaves rustled behind me. I turned around and saw 4 Latin men step out from behind a tree with rifles aimed at us. They looked like some type of mercenaries wearing mismatched tactical gear. The heavy-set one stepped up, looked directly at me, and smiled as if he was excited that he would have a chance to kill. Behind him stood a tall, lean, calculating Mexican man that was eerily still and didn't carry a rifle. He had a small pistol on his hip and a little black notebook in his shirt pocket. He didn't speak. The heavy man kept glancing back at him and said, "Patron Salvador, Los Cabramos." I was confused, but realized he just called Salvador his boss. Then it hit me.
What? Another deal one?
You have
Oh, Monday CRM, stop it. Did I log in my calls? Are we in the...
They were cartel. We had heard back at the firehouse about them having drug labs hidden deep in the woods, but never really believed it. The heavy-set one started patting us down one by one, searching for anything that could be used as a weapon. Tate, our big talker, couldn't help himself. Amigos, what up? So look, there's no need to get violent. We
Hey,
can all
if
be
you
friends
don't
here.
shut up,
We're
you
just
get
simple fire...
killed. If Tate don't shut up, he'll get killed.
Yeah, take his low-key dumb. I want him to get killed, not gonna lie, just kill him, guys.
Exactly. He's not even
Fighters. We're not...
speaking the language right.
I know. He only
Watch,
said
he's gonna get
amigos.
shot.
And also,
He's gonna
amigos
get
means
shot.
brothers, which sounds offensive to them because I wouldn't want to be some brother with a white American since I am half Latino and half English. My friend is Wait, you're not English.
He's gonna get shot. He's gonna get shot.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna get shot. I don't think.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Policia, we will leave you to your business. They all stared at him, already getting annoyed. I tapped him, trying to signal for him to shut up. He shoved my hand away as if he knew better. I got this, bro. Where you
He's such a dumbo.
guys from in
He needs
Mexico?
to get
You
knocked
like
out.
tacos?
He needs to get knocked out.
I know, bro.
I'm a burrito fan myself. How is it being badass cartel guys? Must be so sick. As he was yapping, he had secretly turned on his radio, hoping headquarters was listening in on the conversation. I dated a Mexican chica once. Damn, was she saucy. The heavy-set man's eyes darted down and saw Tate's radio light was on. He realized what Tate was doing and told the leader. I was terrified that he would do something bad, so I tried to step in. Please, let us live. We haven't seen anything here and we don't want any trouble. Salvador gave a small, indifferent nod to the heavy-set guy, which prompted him to raise his rifle and end Tate. My heart sank as I immediately...
What did I say? What did I say?
He's gone, bro. He's dead.
thought of
He's
his
annoying
wife and
and
two little
deserved it.
Yeah, he deserved it, bro.
Deserved it.
kids. My wife got grabbed by a Mexican cartel guy with a mohawk and was being dragged towards the shipping
Holy
container.
chopped hair
My
cut.
blood boiled when I thought about what they might...
I know, bro. You should make
Chopped
it fully
hair.
bald instead of make it look weird, bro. Low-key weird.
Exactly.
Wait a minute.
Oh. Shark boy?
Hello, I'm back.
do to her. Another cartel guy with a long scar on his face shoved Diego down to his knees and stuck his rifle against
Yo, I feel bad for Diego, bro. He hasn't said anything.
Yeah, exactly.
the back of his head. It was obvious that the decision had already been made to execute all of us.
It's because of that annoying friend.
Yeah.
I looked down at Tate's body, and then I looked at the line of trees behind me. I quickly pulled my wife aside and
At this
whispered,
rate, just
"I'm gonna
keep his
escape
dead
and come
body."
back for you. I don't see another way." She nodded, giving me the permission that I needed. Then within half a second, I made the decision. I dove over a rotted tree log and rolled down a steep area of brush as bullets
Holy
rattled
Sonic
out
the
towards me
Hedgehog.
from all three cartel guys.
Bro's rolling like. Bro's rolling.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, bro's rolling like he's ascending to heaven like Jesus.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, ba-dun.
Clipping the bark behind me and whizzing past my head. Luckily, I didn't get hit. As I kept tumbling, I was able to look back and see Salvador standing up on the ridge, glancing down at
They
me with a
suck at
smirk,
aiming.
as if he was being entertained.
Yeah.
I hit the bottom of the canyon hard, slammed my ribs, quickly scrambled up, and took off running for my life. I ran until my lungs burned and my legs went rubber, and then I ran some more. When I felt like I was momentarily in the clear, I tried to gather myself. I was surprised to see that they weren't following me. Flashes of what they might be doing to my beautiful wife and childhood friend Diego haunted my mind. I wished that I could have been heroic and somehow saved them, but they had 4 rifles. We're not military. We don't carry guns. I honestly didn't see another way to survive in that moment and then make a plan to rescue them. But the guilt of thinking I could have done more to help them will haunt me forever. My guts burned with what I just witnessed, but I didn't have any time to mourn. I needed to quickly make a plan. I had my fire axe. I had my foil tent fire shelter. I had 2 road flares, a quart of water, a folding knife, and a radio with a cracked screen from the fall. I found a thicker area of tree cover and tried the radio.
How can the screen break from doing a roly-poly? I don't get it.
Bro.
In a panicked whisper. It's Reyes. Anyone there? Over. Nothing. This is Reyes. Can anyone hear me? Over. A strange crackling sound came out of it, and I couldn't tell if anyone...
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it. Just by
Imagine
thinking
not
about
showing
it.
up,
Meet
mate.
Base 44.
Imagine not showing
complete
up
AI
Base
creation.
44.
was there, then it cut out. I made my way around the perimeter of the fire and climbed up a ridge as quietly and slowly as possible so I could get a view on the cartel. I found a lookout spot perched behind a tree and saw them shoving
what's
Diego
next?
and Mari
He's gonna
into the
climb
cargo
up
container.
Like
I was
Sonic the
I feel
Hedgehog.
bad for them, bro. They're going in like the meth lab or something.
What's next? He's gonna climb like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
relieved to see they were alive, but feared what they were planning to do with them. They started loading boxes and equipment from inside the meth lab onto pallets,
Oh my
which
God,
meant they were going to probably chopper out the important parts of the drug lab before the firestorm hit, and let the wildfire erase everything they couldn't carry out. I think this was how they were covering their tracks, but all of this was new to me, so I really wasn't sure. Salvador stood apart from the others on a flat rock, speaking into a satellite phone. At around 2:30, Salvador called over a scout, pointed down to where I had run away, then pointed directly up at me. I thought I was slick, but he had been watching me the whole time and knew exactly where I was. Salvador handed his scout a rifle and gave him instructions. I watched the scout break off from the group, head down the mountain, and start hunting for me. I watched the scout closely, and then noticed the smoke column from the fire was leaning away from him. I had to change the direction of the smoke, so I cut a small horseshoe-shaped fire line into the dirt, dropped a handful of dry pine needles inside it to ignite a flame, then lit it upwind with my flare, so the smoke switched its path and faced the...
There ain't no horseshoe
How can
shape.
some twigs make a big fire like that? Explain, bro.
direction the scout was coming from. The flame headed downhill the way I needed it to, slow, contained, predictable to me, terrifying to anybody who didn't understand it. The scout came around the bend towards my position, saw the fire I had started and panicked. He tried to make his way around it, which put him exactly...
Hold up, if he's a scout, that means he's the age of 10 to 13.
Bro, this scout is just dumb.
I know, bro.
where I needed him to be, fully surrounded by smoke. I snuck down the brush towards him, gripped onto my fire axe, and mentally prepared myself for what I knew I had to do. I understood that it was either me or him. Pure survival.
Pick you, bro. Pick you instead of that bastard.
I saw him coughing and trying to
Exactly.
wave the smoke away. It was fully covering him, and he probably couldn't see more than a foot in front of him, which made him not know what direction to go to get out of it. I slowly made my way up behind him, stepped into his cloud of smoke, and he quickly turned around and fired his rifle at me. I stepped to the side and got very lucky that he missed. I quickly closed the distance between us and slammed my fire axe into him. He fell over in agony and dropped the rifle. I grabbed the rifle, stared down at him, and saw him closely. He really looked like a lost, dumb, violent 20-year-old kid. I hated the fact that it had to be me to end him, but I didn't have a choice. He was in extreme pain, so I used his rifle and finished it. I didn't let myself feel anything, then took his rifle, his knife, his binoculars, and his radio. It crackled loudly with Salvador's voice speaking Spanish. I have a Spanish last name, but never learnt the language because my mom is American and I was born in Los Angeles, so I had no clue what he was saying.
I heard this
Then
is like
there was a long pause.
the best
He obviously
quote.
understood that his scout was no longer with us, and in a calm, eerie tone. Hello, Mr. Fireman. If you don't turn yourself in to me within the hour, both your wife and friend will die. How did he know we were married? I thought hard about how to handle this, and figured that I might as well challenge him if I wanted to get him away from his crew. I spoke into the radio. Listen up, you cartel piece of shit. Why don't you come down here and face me yourself, instead of having your men do all the dirty work for you? Are you a scared little bitch that can't do anything on your own? I hoped he'd take the bait. When I catch you, I will torture you in unimaginable ways, then do the same to your pretty little wife and your family. I felt a chill crawl up my spine because I knew he wasn't kidding. I stayed quiet, used the wall of smoke for cover from being seen, made my way back to the upper ridge.
The craziest quote of my life. Listen up, you cartel piece of two.
He's a sheep. Alright, never mind.
And found a better hiding spot to keep spying and studying their movements. I started reading the mountain the way I'd been trained to read every fire I'd ever worked with. Wind direction, fuel moisture, and slope angle. I had memorized back in fire school that there are 3 things that drive how a fire moves. Fuel, weather, and the surface of the earth.
That teacher is ugly
But-
confessed, by the way.
The first is what's burning.
Wait,
The
wait,
second
wait.
is what's pushing the fire.
Yeah?
Why should it be called fire school if it's not on fire?
Oh my god. Alright.
And the third is what's shaping
I
it.
should
A great
get straight back to year 1.
I wish what you said would happen to our school so we had no more school.
firefighter
Exactly.
doesn't fight a fire, he reads it. Then he positions himself where it'll do the work for him. I was far from being a great firefighter, but at least knew the basics. I marked 3 potential death zones on the mountain in my head. If I could lure a cartel guy into them, I wouldn't have to pull a trigger because the fire would do the job for me. I tried the busted up radio again and got nothing. Then it was a little before
Eve to me is basically freedom. It's a giant open universe where you can do whatever you want.
or 6 p.m. when a black unmarked helicopter flew in low over the ridge.
So we're not actually going to watch all of this. What we're going to do is scroll on his YouTube shorts since he has really, really good YouTube shorts. So yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, that's just what I was going to say. Because he has really good YouTube shorts, trust.
Can we watch it in part
My friend
2?
turned to me at the lockers. Okay, dude, it's lunchtime, and you're going to see your crush Sienna. Please don't fumble this. I buried my head in my hands. Dude, I never know what to say. Mike took his AirPods out and handed me one. Okay, I'm going to go to the yard, listen to what's going on, and tell you exactly what to say, word for word. Got it?
It's like me telling you what to do to your crush. I'll say to her.
Bro.
Fist
Me
bumped
and
him.
my
Got
crush
it.
is
Thanks, bro.
dating.
I found
Huh?
Me and my crush is dating.
Hmm?
Me and my crush is dating.
Hmm?
Me and my crush is dating.
I know that, bro. By the way, you are on like videos.
found Sienna alone
Please don't say that.
at a lunch table and sat down beside her, pretending not to feel
Are we
nervous.
gonna do
Mike's
part
voice
2?
crackled.
Huh?
Are we gonna do a part 2?
No. That's kind
If
In my
this
ear.
video,
Tell her that you really
wait. If this video gets 500 likes, we will do a part 2.
No, that's a bit too much. 100.
100, yes. Or 50. If we're nice.
Yeah. And it has to at least get 5 extra subscribers.
like her nails because they
For both of us.
And
match her
it
purse.
has
I
to
said it
be,
Hmm?
and it has to be like,
And it has to be at least.
how much? Like 1K viewers?
At least. Then at least like 10 comments.
Exactly.
say yeah.
Word for word, and Sienna's mouth
God.
cracked into a smile. I didn't know guys actually noticed stuff like that. Mike cackled like he was an evil genius. Perfect. Now look her in the eyes, crack her a half smile, and ask her what she's doing this weekend. I did, and she twirled her hair nervously. Why, did you want to do something together? I opened my mouth to speak, but Mike wasn't saying anything. For 5 seconds, we were completely silent, and sweat started dripping down my forehead because I could feel myself starting to fumble the bag. Suddenly, Mike started screaming, "What is that? Ew! Get off of me!" I was so used to copying what he said that I instantly repeated the words. "What is that? Get off of me!" I said calmly. I kept repeating what Mike was saying. "I am not scared of you. I will end your whole family." For a few seconds, it was completely silent. Then Mike broke the silence. "Sorry, bro. I just got attacked by a wasp." That's when I tore the AirPod out and stared at her in disbelief, realizing what I just said. Sienna doubled over, laughing so hard tears were streaming down her face. I buried my head in my hands. "I'm sorry. I have no riz." I showed her the AirPod. "My boy's been telling me everything to say, and I think he just got attacked by a wasp." Sienna wiped her eyes. I loved it. She grabbed my phone off the table. "Saturday, pick me up and leave the AirPod at home." She winked. "Don't fumble this." My friend turned to me at the lockers. "Oh." I opened my door and
Bro, it's like you and your crush are.
found my boy on the porch in head-to-toe pink running gear. Care to join me? He was stretching like he was someone who worked out.
Hell, bro.
What is this?
He looks like a gay.
You're
sumo
grown
short
man
wrestler.
wearing.
He looks
You're
like
a grown man wearing pink.
bro. So he looks like the strongest man in the world, or you could say strongest girl because he's wearing fucking. Sorry for the swearing.
Regularly. I laughed in his face. "Dude, last week you told me working out was for people who hated themselves. What changed?" But then I saw the woman's hair tie on his wrist, and I knew it was all for a girl. He was stretching when he said, "You should pull up to my marathon in 2 weeks." I wiped my eyes. "Bruh, ain't no way you survived 26 miles. You've been running for like a day." He straightened up slowly.
When you swear, you could just put a beep. When you swear, you could just put a beep.
Yeah.
Still gasping for air. "Aight, pull up then. We'll see." 2 weeks later, I pulled up with a sign that said, "Love is worth it," and looked out into the crowd to see if Gizmo was actually going through with this. I found him in the middle of them, still in pink, standing next to the blonde girl, and I needed to see if this running riz would actually work for him. But when I walked over, he was already bent over, gasping for air. "Gizmo, you good? You haven't even started yet." He held up his index finger, too winded to answer. The gun went off, the crowd surged, and he shuffled to the very back of the pack in his little pink shorts. By mile 13, he staggered past, clutching his side, face gone gray, and I actually thought that was it for him. But he spotted my sign, threw me a shaking thumbs up, and kept shuffling. Almost 9 hours later, he was the last one standing, and he collapsed right before the finish line. He was too tired to get up, and had to shimmy his body like a snail just to officially cross it. The girl ran over cheering as I jogged up grinning. Gizmo looked up at me with a fist pumped in the air. "Told you, it'd be worth it." He looked her dead in the eye. "You want to get dinner sometime?" Her smile went stiff, and she let go of his hand. "Oh, Gizmo, I'm gay." She winced. "I'm so sorry. I thought you knew." My laugh died in my throat. Gizmo knelt there in his soaked pink shirt, metal swinging from his neck, staring at the finish line. I'd sworn he'd never survive it, and I was right, just not about the marathon. I opened my door and found my...
Huh?
She was gay?
I thought it'd be
She
the
was
opposite way
gay?
around, bro.
We have just been disrespected in a line, all of us, and you guys want to talk about double standards. Do you know the lives that women live and the double standards that we live? If for 1 second we want to have the upper level.
I'm not watching
Holy,
this. This is an advert.
yeah.
I was grabbing a lollipop from the bowl on the bank counter when a man burst through the doors with a gun. "Everybody down!"
Hell nah, bro. What is this moustache?
Dad,
coming out of him?
you
What
just
is
really
that
don't
moustache?
care
Anybody see that moustache?
if we're in a situation like this.
There's a moustache
Because-
on his lip, and his head is so wide it looks like 5 bricks.
He screamed, waving his gun at
Yeah,
everyone.
guess
I
what?
panicked and dove
Well,
You know, situations like this, bro's gonna survive.
yeah, bro.
behind the teller counter, but my mom was in the lobby, dropping to her knees with the other customers. She called my name, searching for me, but he yelled, "Everyone shut the hell up and let me get my money. Nobody leaves until I do." I pressed myself against the counter, my heart slamming because my mom is all I have, and I had to do something before he hurt her. Police sirens wailed in the distance, and the robber's head snapped toward the window. "Crap! Let's do this quick!" he screamed. He shoved his gun at the teller, who was only 10 feet away from me. The teller threw his hands up, then fumbled the drawer open and stuffed cash into the bag, crying. I stayed frozen behind the counter, my whole body shaking, watching my mom out in the lobby shaking. Then I saw it, a red lockdown button on the wall, the kind that seals the whole bank and could stop him. But when I reached for it, I saw the keypad beside it. It needed a code, and I didn't know it. I was so close to saving her, and I still couldn't do anything. Then the sirens grew louder, and the robber panicked. My mom kept screaming my name, so he stormed over and yanked her up by the arm. "Shut up, you're coming with me." He pressed the gun to her head and dragged her toward the doors, and I knew if he walked out that door with her, I'd never see her again. The robber was one step from the doors, my mom locked against his chest, her feet dragging. I was guessing codes frantically, but they all were wrong. Then the teller beside me, hands still up, whispered, 4729. My fingers shook as I punched it in, one number at a time, while the robber's hand hit the doorknob. The second he pushed it open, the lockdown slammed every door shut, trapping him inside. He spun around, wild-eyed, searching for who did it, but he never once looked behind the counter. The police swarmed in and tackled him as my mom broke free. I ran to
Holy W, bro.
her, the lollipop still in my hand, and buried myself in her arms. I
Guess
was grabbing a
Hold
If
up.
he touched my mom,
I've just realised this.
lollipop from the bowl on the bank counter when a man burst through the doors.
But how come a boy is pure white and a woman is pure black? There must be some.
The car jack slipped
wait.
while Kendrick was under his
Stop. If he touches my mom, I will knock him out.
Sure, bro.
grandpa's car, and the
Great.
I was on a field trip with my class in the wilderness when I tripped on a rock and my phone. I walked into the campus coffee shop, spotted a beautiful girl at a corner table, and did the single most embarrassing thing I've ever done to get a stranger's attention. I sat at the next table and leaned toward her. "Hey, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to say hi." She acted like I wasn't even there, so I tried again louder. Her friend looked over and laughed. "Violet cannot hear you. She's deaf." My whole face went hot, and I stared at the table like it could save me. "Oh, okay. Sorry to bother you." I ran out with my head down, and when I got back to my dorm, I downloaded a sign language app. I'd spent my whole first year of college keeping my head down and talking to no one, so I was going to learn her language.
Huh?
POV me.
Bro.
If it was the last thing I did. I practiced signing the alphabet until my hands cramped and my roommate laughed at me. "I can't believe you're doing all that for a girl." When I signed hello to Violet on campus the first time, my hands were so slow she signed back at half speed, grinning like she was talking to a toddler. The next week she taught me the sign for disaster and pointed at me, and I was sure that was flirting. For the first time all year, I had somewhere to be, someone waving me over before I'd even spotted her. When Violet signed an invitation to her birthday party, I decided that was when I would tell her how I felt. I told my roommate my plan, and he stopped laughing for once. "Just look at who she's always with before you do anything." Violet was always with the same girl, but I figured that was her best friend. She showed me a video of her little brother signing his first full sentence, and when the girl filming leaned into frame, Violet kissed the screen. I told myself she was just thankful. The whole week before the party, I practiced my sign until the sentence was perfect, and every time my roommate's words came back, I shoved them down. I'd come too far to be wrong. The party was packed with people signing in rapid conversations I could barely follow. I took a deep breath and started looking for Violet. I found her by the window, and my hands were steady for the first time as I signed that I'd spent 3 months learning sign language because she was the most beautiful person I'd ever seen, and I was completely in love with her. She touched my shoulder and signed 2 words very slowly so I would not miss them. "I'm gay." Then she smiled and signed the word she'd taught me first. Disaster. I walked into the campus coffee shop, spotted a beautiful girl.
Oh my god, bro. Why do you
My ex-wife slipped a folded note into our son Peter's pocket as I...
Wait, look at the comments. No. The gay one.
Yeah.
Scroll up.
My ex...
Check the comments.
I was on a field trip with my class. I walked in...
Yeah, that one.
I walked into the...
Yeah, that one. Yeah, check the comments. He has every right to start his student.
I walked into the campus coffee. My ex-wife. I was 16 when I came home from my first day at work and saw all the furniture in my house was missing. I opened the fridge expecting to snap back to reality, but it was empty. And then I found a note on the table that made me fall over. "We sold the house. We don't have the money to care for both you and your brother. You have 7 days to leave before the new family moves in. Good luck." It was my dad's handwriting, and there was nothing about where they were going. I started crying because no way could my own family just abandon me. But when I tried to call them, I realized I was blocked. That night, I knocked on my friend's door in my only outfit and explained what happened. They instantly gave me a spare room, and I started working as hard as I could. 10 years later, I had my own contracting company.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah,
Imagine your
kinda.
parents
But now
leaving
he's
you.
rich.
And a house I'd bought in cash. I'd stopped waiting for a call from them
Yeah, at
since
the
the
end
day
he's
I sent them
probably
invites
rich.
to my college graduation, only to take my diploma to the sight of 3 empty chairs. But then one day, my doorbell rang. I opened it, and my parents and my older brother stood there smirking. The exact faces I remembered 15 years ago. They walked past me into my house like they owned it, and I was in so much shock I couldn't speak. Mom instantly threw her arms around me. "How's our entrepreneur? We're so proud of our son." She pinched my cheek, while my dad was already opening cabinets in my kitchen. I asked, "What do you want?" in a shaky voice, and Mom instantly smiled. "We need to move in for a little while, rent-free. We lost our house and family takes care of family." I saw my brother kick off his shoes and settle onto my couch while Mom kept going. "We'll also need a $3,000 monthly grocery budget and an allowance for your brother." I looked over at my 34-year-old brother and my dad already sharing my beef jerky. Before I could reply, Mom walked out to her car and returned with 2 suitcases. She set them down, and the 3 of them started unpacking in my living room. Mom tossed her dresses on my sofa, and my brother was already plugging in his PlayStation. I remember a sudden rage taking over me. They abandoned me as a kid, and now wanted my house. I walked over and immediately slapped their hands off the suitcases. I unplugged my brother's PlayStation and pulled out the note they'd left me 15 years ago from my wallet. "Do you remember this? Because I never forgot it." I slammed it on the table. Mom scoffed. "That was so long ago, but I was already opening my door. You gave me 7 days. I'm giving you until I count to 3, or I'm having my security guards escort you out." They laughed, and my brother stepped towards me. "What security guards?" I laughed back and pressed the button on my house alarm. 4 trained men instantly walked in. They grabbed my parents and brother by their arms. My dad yelled, "You can't abandon us, we're family." But I laughed. Funny, that's what I said 15 years ago. They were escorted out, still begging. I was 16 when I came home from my first day.
Yo,
Really devious.
Mira esto.
shark boy.
My little sister
Why is the dad such a big bag?
Yeah.
threw down my Nintendo and ran to the window. "Look, there's a rainbow. We need to find the pot of gold at the end of it so we can be rich." I was about to tell her the truth, but she was so excited she was bouncing up and down, and I couldn't bring myself to break the news.
Bro's dumb.
Okay, let's check it out. She grabbed my hand and dragged me outside, and we climbed the fence, and Isabella marched straight through mud that swallowed her boots. Leprechauns only give gold to hard workers. It's the rules. I laughed nervously, and had no idea how she was going to react when she found out there was no gold. "So what do you even want the money for?" She hugged her backpack tighter. "It's a secret." I rolled my eyes because I already knew it was probably a new vintage Barbie doll for her collection. Suddenly, I looked up and saw the rainbow was starting to fade. Isabella started running faster, and I knew if I didn't want her childhood to end, I had to think of something fast. I pulled out the $500 of emergency money out of my phone case and hid it underneath a rock. I waved frantically. "Isabella, over here. I found something. I think it's the gold." Isabella sprinted as fast as her little legs could carry her, and when she saw the money, she screamed so loud birds left the trees. I knew
Oh my god, bro.
leprechauns were real. She held the dollar bills over her head while the last of the rainbow faded behind.
Broski's rich.
I thought it was finally over, but 3 days later she came to my room with a brand new Nintendo Switch 2. "I bought this for you with the gold." My jaw dropped in shock. "But you're Barbie." I thought. She frowned like I'd said something crazy. "I already have a bajillion of those. You've been saving for a new Switch for months." She bought me my dream with my own savings, and I'll make sure she'll never know it. My little sister threw down my Nintendo and ran to the window. "Look, there's a rainbow. We need to find the pot of gold at the end of it so we can be rich." A tornado was ripping roofs off houses and throwing cars, and when I saw it heading towards my house, I grabbed my son Toby and ran down the basement stairs. Toby shouted, "Daddy, I'm scared." "We're okay, buddy." But that's when the tornado shook the house, making Toby cry so hard he started choking. His weak heart would stop if he kept panicking, so I had to calm him down fast. I rubbed circles on his back, whispering, "Shh, I've got you." But sweat dripped from my forehead when I felt his heart pounding quicker. So I started singing his bedtime song, "Time for bed, my little guy." But my voice cracked when the tornado threw a car into our house and the alarm blared above us. Toby screamed and dropped his dinosaur plushie. "Daddy, make it stop!" And his heart slammed against my chest. I knew I was running out of time, so I yanked my phone and played his favorite song instead. But Toby's eyes rolled back as his lips turned blue and his body went limp. I tapped his cheek. "Toby, no, stay with me, buddy." I didn't know what to do, but then I remembered seeing videos of people making songs songs with Suno, so I downloaded the app and hoped making a song would calm him down. Buddy, you want to make the silliest song in the
That's
world
what
with me?
we
Toby
use.
looked up with teary eyes and nodded. What should it be
We
about?
used
He
to.
sniffled. Me being friends with dinosaurs. He told me everything they would do together, and his heart slowed down as I typed. Then Toby spoke into the mic so it'd sound like him singing, and when we picked the goofiest tune, we hit create. But then the tornado started tearing the house apart, and Toby's heart pounded so hard, I thought it would burst. Don't let it get me, Daddy. It's okay, buddy. The song's almost done. And then Toby went quiet when the song started playing.
Dinosaur and me, we stomped through the mud. Big splashy steps, mud squishes up high.
When the noise died down, I set Toby down, his heart calmer than ever, and he grinned. Daddy, can we make another song? I laughed. Yeah, buddy, as many as you want. And I opened Suno again. A tornado
What
was
was that
ripping roofs
song?
off houses and throwing
So
cars.
Have you ever had an
goofy.
absolutely hilarious moment, but wish you had some?
Alright, guys, so this
Why
will
was
be
that song so goofy?
this will be the end of the thing. Maybe scroll away from that chat. Maybe look at some.
Bye, guys. Subscribe to me and
Subscribe
Shark
to us.
Boy
Bye bye.
so we can beat Mr. Beast. So we can beat Mr. Beast.
Hopefully, but
Yes.
I doubt it. Bye.